Hi, and welcome to my online video tutorial in which I'm going to show you how to make these really cute little bobble hat decorations. So you can make these any size. I'm going to be using something similar to the inside of a cling film roll. So using something that size, you're going to end up with something this size, but you could make them bigger and use something like the inside of a kitchen towel roll or a toilet roll, or you can make them slightly smaller. Basically, you just need something that is tubular. I'm actually going to demonstrate around this, which is the inside of the rolls of Velcro that I buy and use in our studio. And it's a very similar size to the cling film. It's just plastic and I like the idea of recycling it. And it's about 1 inch tall. So depending on how big the diameter of your tube is, might depend on how tall you want to go as well to keep everything in proportion. So that's about 1 inch tall. And then I've pre-cut some pieces of yarn. You can just use anything you've got to hand. You don't have to go out and buy loads of stuff for this little project. And I've pre-cut those to approximately 10 inches in length. So if you're scaling up, you'll just need to make sure that you cut these bigger. I've just cut a relatively small number, not masses. I suspect there's probably 25-ish, maybe 30, something like that there. And yeah, they're all approximately 10 inches. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one of our pieces of yarn and we're just going to fold it roughly in half. We're going to push the loop through the centre of the tube. I'm going to put my fingers through the loop and then I'm just going to pull the other ends through and then slide it so it's all nicely together like that. So I'm going to take the next one, just folding it roughly in half, putting the loop through the middle. So when I'm putting the loop through, it's always going in the same direction, and that is I'm putting in it from right to left, and then pull and bunch that up next to the one I've just done. And so we're just going to go round our tube doing exactly this. You can take these anywhere to do because they're so easy as long as you've pre-cut your yarn. And a couple of years ago I was on a train going to York and I'd taken my yarn and I'd taken some pre-cut bits of tubing, and I made quite a number on that train journey, and it was a lovely journey because a lady sat down next to me who was a member of a WI group and she was watching me, and so I ended up helping her make one. I gave her all of my bits so she could make one, and then she was going to take that back to her WI group and show them how to make them. So that was a really lovely, really enjoyed that. So we're just going to do these until we've gone all the way around our little piece of plastic. And actually you can see that this is making up relatively quickly. I haven't been doing it that long and I've already probably quarter done the circumference of my tube. Obviously the bigger the tube, the more strands you're going to have to do. And I'm pulling them quite tight as I'm doing them. You don't want to leave them too loose, so just give them a good pull as you pull the 2 strands through. So just to show you one more and then I shall whiz on and do it. So you've got your loop, you're pushing the loop through. When the loop is through, I'm putting my fingers through the loop and grabbing the ends and then pulling those up nice and snug like so. And then I'm just pushing them next to each other so that there's no visible gaps in between. Okay, I'm going to carry on going all around that and then I'll show you how to finish it off. Okay, so I've now filled this up so that I've got my yarn going all the way around my ring and I've given them all a good pull. So now I've got to decide how big I want my bobble hat to be. So you're just going to take one of your other strands that you've still got and I'm just going to lay that on the table. And I don't want too much of a bobble, so I'm just going to tie that about there and I'm going to double tie it. Like so, and then this is the fun bit because you just get to trim off the top so it makes the pom-pom. So just a nice sharp pair of scissors like so. Sometimes they don't all come off even, so you might have to give it a little bit of an extra trim. it a bit of a shape if you want to as well. And then these two bits that you've tied together, you're just going to put a knot in the end, and there is your bobble hat decoration, waiting to be hung or popped on a present, whatever you like. So there you go. I hope you like that tutorial, and if you make one, don't forget to tag us. We are on Facebook and Instagram, and the tag is @MadeandMaking.